Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 10 Nova. Hey, high 7. Let's see what you got. 22 jet bombers, 22 jet bombers. Get it.
Looking to throw on 1st and 10. Here's McSorley. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
First down, Tampa Bay.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Out of the shotgun, McSorley. He's got Evans. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 26.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. McSorley sets to pass. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal.
Let's bring it. Check 26, check 26.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Here we go, here we go.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Goodwin able to haul it in. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
At the 37-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 63 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, it's McSorley. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
3-6-6, pull it high. Watch the hey, exit. Get it.
McSorley, 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's McSorley. And he comes back with one complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And this is caught by Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Evans, 44 yards. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now this one complete on the slant route. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards that time. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. We talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Hey, alert! 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 Check 24. 12, fellas, here we go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Tight end right.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a great return as he takes this up just shy of the 45.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful day. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And nothing but daylight ahead. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, it's just
and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
25, check 25, check 25.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
12, fellas, here we go.
From the 22, Garoppolo. It's caught by Coleman. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 2nd and 2, Garoppolo looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Gold with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report, here's Jonathan Coachman. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They will run again with Coleman. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up fourth.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
On 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Pilot, 64, weak. Choose the mic. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. He's crashing. He's checking crash. 61, matchbox right. Let's go.
Again, it's Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Let's get it. Come on, set. 90, Wolf. Hey! Hey! High 7. 52, get it.
Here's McSorley to throw. He completes it to Evans. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust.
And this is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. As his guys are in for 6 as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Devin White in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo, the 30, and all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 64 yards.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
21.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Shaquille Barrett gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
A 44-yard attempt.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On the set. Greystone travel.
Check it back.
Ready?
McSorley from the shotgun. He finds his target. It's Evans. Mike Evans, he's going to go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the night as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
13.
This is Coleman. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. To throw is Garoppolo. And this is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give right side. Akers. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing is McSorley. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, wahoo!
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll try to run this one in, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Gay's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Akers. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And it's a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a cut to the... And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
And the Bucs are on this one. And that should just about do it. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back.
On the ready.
I'm coming after you.
80 weapons.
I'm coming after you. Kill.
And to give this time to the tailback. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, do. You think you gonna get this? Ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Exit.
56. Mike's 56.
Now McSorley. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw again on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 46. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
At the 42-yard line.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch the screen.